Okay, Patty, you can go ahead and start with the um, go up to file and start your slideshow.
Show. And then from beginning. Okay, everybody got our first page. District 14C Secretary Training. I'm
We've
Patty
got it.
Rosbacher, first Vice District Governor, officially now District Governor-elect, so it's coming down to the wire here. I was secretary for the New Freedom Lions Club for 6 years and cabinet secretary for our district for 3 years. So I know a little bit about being a secretary, but if you have any questions during any of this at any time, just please stop or use the raise hand and we'll proceed. This is how you can reach me. That's my email, tidbitrn4@aol.com. Phone number 443-955-8697. And subjects we're covering tonight will be the secretary's responsibilities, just an overall generalized view of what your secretary responsibilities are, your meeting duties during the meeting minutes, files. We'll touch a little bit on the portal unless you have a lot of questions for that. There was a portal Q&A, so Dennis did an excellent job. You can find that on the portal Q&A on the YouTube videos if you Google it. That'll cover a lot of what you need to know. Or I'm always available if you have any questions, or Dennis is available, or any of your zone chairs or other Lions members, they can help you get in. Membership, we will touch on, and your reports. And then service reporting in the portal and your roster. This is just a couple of resources that I found useful that people led me to when I first started as a secretary and as a Lion. If you go into the Lions portal, there is a Lions Learning Center. It's very valuable. It's got secretary training, it's got portal training, it's got all kinds of stuff in there, how to do minutes, how to do a whole bunch of stuff. It's a lot of different courses. They're all free. You can just browse around in there and find a whole bunch of things. It's got public speaking. I mean, it's got anything. It's got lots of topics in it. So you can just find anything that you want. The club secretary ebook, I will show you a picture on the next slide of what that looks like. I was told by someone to download that. I did not download it because it's a lot of pages long. You can find it if you Google club secretary ebook or go to lionsclubs.org, you can find it. It tells you everything and anything that you need to know. If you have a question about anything, it will be in there and it will let you know. If you have other questions, you can always just ask the past secretary in your club, or you can contact me and you'll find out more of what you need to know. Lions University is another option. You can go through there, take courses. I know a lot of our Lions have done that. I've done that also. Once again, just has more courses on being a secretary, treasurer, president, any officer, public speaking, ton of topics. Really good resource for learning. YouTube.com, as I said, most of our trainings are recorded, and you can Google that and go on YouTube and just put in District 14C and just put in president training, secretary training, whatever training we've done, portal training, and you will find it on there. This is what the club secretary ebook, the front of it looks like. It gets updated once in a while, not very often, but you can keep that handy and just find answers to everything you need. Now, your 6 primary responsibilities of the Lions Club secretary are: you are going to be the one to organize the club and the board meetings. What I mean by organize, it's usually the secretary is always told when she's inducted into the club that it is the most important job in the club, and it basically is. You do basically run the club. You handle just about everything from the start of the meeting to the end of the meeting to the beginning of the year to the end of the year. We'll get into more detail what some of those responsibilities are as we move forward. But you'll help the president with the agenda. When I put agenda in red, I put that in there because you will prepare the agenda. I will let you know that there are some clubs, as mine in the past, I did the complete agenda from start to finish. I took the agendas from our previous secretaries and just followed them. I knew what was coming up, what wasn't coming up. You should do these in coordination with your club president. My club presidents did not do them. I only had one that did, so I was the main one who did the agendas. Our secretary this year does the agendas in connection with our president. So they collaborate, they work together. So you need to coordinate with your president for the agenda. You can prepare it, you can send it out a week ahead of time. A lot of members of the club will add stuff to the agenda. They want topics that they want brought up or discussed, or maybe they've got a new project or a new event or a new happening that they want. So you can add it to the agenda.
Patty, I'll just interject
Also,
here that I
yep,
did the club presidents last week, and
okay,
I strongly encouraged them to take the lead on making the agendas, but
okay,
every club kind of has their own way of doing it. So you can
yep.
follow the traditions in your club or start a new one if you want, I guess.
Yeah, I strongly suggest start a new one because the secretary has so much to do. The president needs to take some responsibility and do some of that stuff. Because I will let you know, our secretary this year, she's been doing, this is her third year, she's overwhelmed. They now have two secretaries in our club to do my job because it's a lot and she's overwhelmed. So yes, I agree, Dennis. Thank you. Get your president involved. It says to attend all club and board meetings. You should be at all club and board meetings. If you cannot attend a meeting, please contact your president. Or please, if you have a co-secretary, have your co-secretary do the minutes. Have somebody in your club that can step up to take the minutes. The minutes are important. They will need to be recorded and done at the meeting, but just make sure you've got a backup plan. It may take 2 or 3 people or 2 or 3 phone calls, but we do have 3 other people in our club that will step up. Keep club records and receive all correspondence. Club records could be anything that comes into the club. I know we get a tax exempt certificate. I know the treasurer in our club takes and gives us documents like the DOA certificate, DNO certificate that we need to keep. Used to give me stuff, said, Patty, if something happens to me here, keep this on record, keep it in a file. So I kept all of that. And correspondence will come in to either you directly, it could come into your president, it could come to the treasurer even. Just make sure you keep all of that. Ours, anything that comes in, it's for a donation. I give all of that to our club treasurer. They need to keep that for their records and to acknowledge the fact that they had a donation made to the club. Complete and file all club reports. Most of that is done on the portal now. I know from my club, it's a little different because our treasurer does a lot of stuff with the dues. It sends all the invoices and does all that stuff. But there are many clubs still, it's the secretary who's making sure sent in conjunction with treasurer help. Some of them do them quarterly, some of them do them every 6 months. We do ours yearly. So that's going to depend on your club also. Be an active member of the district governor advisory committee. That basically means you should be attending the meetings that your zone chair is holding. They hold 4 meetings a year. They will give you information that you need to know and take about your service project. They will bring you information from the cabinet meetings, from the GAT meetings. They will discuss that. You'll get together with all the clubs in your zone. You'll know what everyone is doing, all their service projects. You guys will get the partnership together. But if you're going to those meetings, then you can take all that information that's handed down from the district governor to the zone chair. Now you can take that information back to your clubs and share it with your clubs. And like I said, you will be the liaison in the club between the club and the district and Lions International. You will be receiving a lot of emails. They will either come from this governor directly, they will come from other clubs in your zone or your district, or they will come from other leaders within the club. I know we get some from our zone chair. So please make sure you check your emails and you read that stuff and you can relay that information to your club. It should be on the agenda. They need to know what events are coming up, the cabinet meetings that are coming up, the trainings that are coming up. You can relay that to all of them and just keep them posted as to everything, all the communication that's coming down. File all official reports Basically, did not do a whole lot of filing reports because our treasurer filed a lot of the treasurer reports. I did keep reports and stuff that came in. I kept all the minutes. We kept all the documents that came in. I just kept in my little personal file and I noted all them and I labeled all of them. So I do have those. Membership reporting used to be done monthly. That now is only done if you get a new member in your club. You go into the portal, you go under your club, you hit the manage members key, and that's where you enter your new members. It's no longer a monthly thing. It's just as a member comes in, if a member leaves, or if a member transfers. That's the only time you have to do that. Service activity reporting is a very big thing. We want all clubs to be reporting service activities. If you need help with that, I'm available, Dennis is available. I know a lot of the zone chairs are real well versed in reporting service activities in the portal. I will tell you, there are some folks that still say it's difficult. I'm not doing it. I'm not clicking buttons. It is a whole lot easier now than it was in the old system. The old system, you probably had to click 10 or 15 screens to get through to report a service. Now it's simply you put in a title, you put it in, you click a couple buttons, it's all on one screen, report the hours, the volunteers, the people that were served, the event, the description, and the dates. And make sure when you're doing service activities, reporting them, there's a little box up on the right under the writing that says report complete. Make sure you click that off, because if you click save and do not click the report complete button, it's only sitting there saved as a draft or a planned activity. Until you hit report complete, it will not be reported to LCI. LCI is one who will get all the reports and takes care of documenting all that and keeping records of it all. Just make sure to hit the report complete button. If you forget, you can always go back in, you can always click it and do it later. Meeting minutes. Most of you, I only learned by trial and error. I don't know if you really want to go through like the whole thing and what needs to be written. If you get a copy of the minutes, if you're a new from your previous secretary, it's a whole lot easier just to follow that. Follow your agenda, put all the meeting minutes in there, follow everything according to the agenda and just write them. Make sure you're very attuned into recording the members that are there, how many. The board of director, you should be recording the names of everyone who's there at the board of director meeting. Record how many members are present. If you have any guests, report how many guests are there that evening. Anything special. When it comes to motions, you need to record. I record the first and last name because you may have 3 Bobs in the club. You might have 2 Davids. Motion made by, record the first and last name for the first. Record the name for the second. Then when the president asks, is it approved? Just put yay and if it's opposed, put 0. I feel it's very important to take and put approved. And if there's any opposed, put that number of who opposed it, because we've had some incidences where we've had it was 5-4, 4-5. It was very close, and people went, well, it was unanimous. I don't think you can really write unanimous unless it was truly a unanimous vote, unless everyone there, the 9, the 10, the 12 members unanimously voted for it. We've had a few passed by a majority. Well, what was that majority? Was it 9-0, or was it 8-1, or was it 5-4? And it was close. And now you go to the next board meeting, and now there's a conflict and a discussion. And they go, well, it was a majority vote. Well, 4 people were against it, and now there's a conversation, and now you're rediscussing it. So I feel it's important to put that number if there were any opposed. You may also have a time where folks have abstained from the vote because they're too close to the issue that's being discussed. Or maybe it's their own little project, or it's their family member that's trying to get something from the club, or wants funds donated, or a project to move forward, so they abstain from the vote. Make sure you write a little side note that that's who abstained and why. That's important to note too. We had run into an incident once where we were very close to a couple of people. We wanted to bring them in as new members, but there was an issue with 2 other members. but they had documented on the minutes that we had abstained. We had left the room. We did not vote. They voted without us. So incidents like that need to be documented just so people know why it was abstained. Your most other important thing is to keep members informed. Mainly that's by email. I know I used to send out emails for everything. I sent out the week before, sent out the agenda, just so if anyone has any additions or corrections or suggestions or another project they want to bring up, I send it, they could send it to me and I would send it out. Remind them there's a meeting coming up, which is ideally to do about almost a week before the meeting. That way everyone knows. You can send out a reminder if you want a couple days before. We've had some clubs send out a meeting reminder the morning of the meeting. Well, by then people have missed it and forgot. So keep them informed. Minutes, ideally, everyone's different. Some people are working full time. Minutes do take a lot of time to compose, a lot of time to put together. I was able to get them out within 5 to 7 days of the meeting. Ideally, that works for most clubs if you're working, as long as they're out before the next meeting several days. So the members have time to look them over, have time to make corrections, suggestions. And when you approve them at the meeting, that way they can let you know if there's any corrections. I found out that if I sent them out sooner, then we had people who didn't attend the meeting go, oh, there's a project coming up this weekend, I can make it. Well, if you wait 2 weeks to send them out, well, now all your projects have passed and they've missed the dates. Sometimes people don't read the agendas. They might read the minutes and say, oh, I can go to this project. Anything, like I said, that comes through the grapevine, you're going to have to pass on to everyone. Some people don't have emails. We have a gentleman in our club that has no email. So one of our members, he calls him. There's a project coming up. We get him a phone call and he goes, yes, I want to help. I'll be there. So you may have to use the telephone too for some of your members. Some of my other members, I used to send them a text message and just say, hey, this is happening this weekend. You guys want to show up? Do you want to volunteer? You'll figure out who in your club needs an email or who needs a phone call or who needs a text message. And it's really kind of nice to keep in touch with them. Then they still feel part of the club, even though they may not have email and stuff, but they want to be involved. Does anybody have any questions before I fly on here? Okay. Question? The next thing on here, attend all club and board of director meeting once again. We go too far now. That's basically also what we already discussed. You're the one who needs to record everything that's going on. So you should have attendance at the club and board of director meetings. Record all meeting minutes. We basically went through a lot of that. They need to be recorded. You need to make a paper copy of them. I know a lot of people, because things have changed, we make a paper copy of everything. We have binders in a closet in our Lions building where we have minutes from 1933. So we keep them all. So we have a permanent record of all of those. So it is recorded and they are stored there. A lot of people are into the electronic. I have them on my laptop, but always afraid my laptop will crash. So some people save them to a flash drive or a thumb drive, as long as you've got something that's got them recorded so that you can have access to them. I hand wrote all of my notes when I did my minutes. Being a nurse, that's what that came from. But I still have all my notebooks, all my handwritten notes. So if someone's asked me a question like, well, 2 years ago, I know we did that at this time. Let me look it up. I got it. It's right there. I do that for me only because that's how I keep records. That's how I can find stuff. You got to do what works for you. We have our new secretaries and they're wonderful. And I don't know how they do it. They sit at the laptop at the meeting and they type everything and the minutes are like, wow, I can't believe it. They caught it all. They're really good. They also, for some of them, I did not do it because it was harder for me. They use a little tape recorder and they record all the minutes. That way, if they're at home typing up the minutes and they've missed something, they just simply play it back and there it is. They've got it and they have it accurate. It really works for them. Now they do delete that when they're done with the minutes so they don't have any record of it because now they have it written. It's on paper. You will receive and respond to all club correspondence promptly and professionally. That's to say that if you get an email, we get a lot of requests into our website to our club account, requesting eyeglasses, requesting medical equipment, requesting funds for somebody who needs a heating bill paid. Just respond to all of them as quickly as you can. If it's an incident where you need to take it back to your club, you need to address it to your board of directors, you need to vote on something, you need to approve it, just answer them and let them know, say, hey, we're having a meeting on Tuesday, the board of directors meeting. I will bring it up. I will keep in touch with you and I will keep you posted as to what's going on. But at least you've answered them. So they're not sitting there going, well, I guess they got my email or they're just ignoring me. It's courteous just to say, hey, I will get back to you in a few days after we have our meeting. Complete and file all reports to LCI. Basically, that's only like the membership, unless Dennis, you can think of something else. I know it's just all the like membership stuff and the stuff on the portal, because our treasurer takes care of a lot of that stuff, which is like the next one. Work with the club treasurer to make sure the IRS 990 is filed by November 15th. Some clubs, I think the secretary helps. I know most of them, the treasurer does all that kind of stuff. So I'm not involved in that. But once again, your treasurer may ask you to send out the invoices or to follow up and make sure payments are coming in or keep a record of the dues and the people who have paid and who haven't paid. Transfer all your records to your successor. My year, which really helped because I didn't have anyone to really help me do the secretary stuff. I have a whole booklet I had put together. I listed every single month of what our service activities were, what date they were, who we had to contact for projects, who I had to notify the borough because we needed to rent the building out, who everything was in there. Any little procedure that we needed to do for any project, anything, I had it all in there because at the time we did not have a chairperson for all of our activities. It was me. It was the secretary and the president just going, hey, who's going to do this? So I kept it all documented. Another thing that helped us, we took our big fundraisers, and maybe your chair people do this. It would really help you and everyone else to move forward. We did, I think they call it a SOP or operation procedure, whatever. We wrote everything down of what everybody did for every event. And now that's all recorded. That's all on documents. That's all on our website. So we have all of that too. And when I left being secretary, I handed all those documents, all that stuff over in the files on our website and in paper to our secretary. And even though I helped her that first year and I mentored her and I sat with her and we did everything together, she called me and she knew she could for anything and everything. So your secretaries that are stepping down, if you're new, the one who preceded you, they will be there. They will help you. They will guide you. They will walk you through all of this. It seems like a lot and it's overwhelming at times. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's a really big thing. I know my one now, she'll call me all the time, like, what do you need? Can I do this for you? Can I do that for you? I'll file this paper for you. I'll contact the borough. Just ask for help. People are willing to help you. They will help you. They will step up. They will give you a hand. But just transfer all the records. It would be important. It is a big, huge help to the one coming in, and they don't have to look for phone numbers. They don't have to look for names. They just have it all right there. Are there any other questions?
You said, I'm not hungry, this is a better conversation. Did I not tell you to come in and get your food?
Okay, the other thing I mentioned before, attend all the zone meetings with your club president. That's very important so that, like I said before, your zone chair attends all the cabinet meetings. They bring what's coming from the district, all the district projects, fundraisers that might be going on, any information that needs to be passed down, any new things that are occurring. So if you're there as the secretary, you can take notes. You can learn from everybody else. You can take and pass it on to your club. You will be that main person between the club, the zone, and the district. You're down there. You're also included. You're part of that team. So this way you can keep your club informed of everything that's going on. And then, like I said, work with your club treasurer for the dues and the statements. My club doesn't, other clubs all do it different. So you're just going to have to find out what your club treasurer and your past secretary does for that. Submit new member information to LCI. Once again, that's if you get a new member, go into the portal and submit all that information. We can walk you through it. You can watch the portal video, or you can call me. I can help you do that, or your secretary before you, if you're replacing someone, they can walk you through that too. So just make sure everyone has access. You can go in there, just Google Alliance Portal, and it will you can hit the little button that says set up a new account. If you don't have an account, it's very important that you are on there, because that's where you're going to be doing the shopping for the club, putting in the new members, all the other information. You'll need to be on the portal. If you need any help with that, just feel free to call me. We can walk you through it too. We can walk you through all the steps. Work with your club webmaster to ensure the club's website is maintained. We are very, very blessed right now. We have a new club website. It started 3 years ago, and we have a gentleman who's my IT guy. That's how he answers the phone. IT, can I help you? He started our website. He's done an excellent job at maintaining it, bringing it up to date, making it current. You want to help your webmaster. That's one of the things that are important. And since he took over our website, we put all of our events on there. We put our calendar on there. Our newsletters are on there. Any event you can think of, our sign-up sheets. We have gained so many more people following us and sending us emails now. We went from having probably 5 inquiries a year for people wanting eyeglasses or wanting medical supplies or needing a service from us. We probably get 5 to 6 emails a month now with people who want requests, only because they Google Lions Club. And if they Google it and your club comes up and they go to your website and go, wow, look at this, it's current. They've got, look at this, they're doing these activities, they're helping this person, they've done eyeglasses. You keep that all up to date. They look at it and they go, yeah, maybe I want to join this club. That's how you get new members too. If your website is up to date and it's maintained and it's current, and they might say, hey, can I come check you out? So the secretary can help your webmaster with that too, by providing pictures or whatever else they need or information. The other thing the portal is good for, ordering your club supplies and your awards. I know the president or the treasurer can get in there too, because the treasurer checks the statements on the portal. They have total access to that. They can get into club, check statements for dues. Club supplies, our secretary, I used to do it all. Our secretary does it all. The awards, she does it all. So there is a button in the portal that says shop. And literally, it's fun just going in there and literally just shopping and looking all around at everything they have. They have awards, they have banners, they have decals, they have stickers, they have clothing, they have your Lion of the Year awards, they have plaques, they have, you name it on there, they've got it on there. So you can do it through there. Your club has an account, so you can simply just click charge to the club and they will charge it to the account. The treasurer will get the bill, and that's how that gets paid. Dennis, do you have
Patty,
something?
one thing I'd say about the Lions Club store, just a reminder that one, order early, especially for awards. Try to get those requests in, because it does take some time, and if you can lump things together, the
Okay.
mailing or the delivery charges can be kind of steep. So the more you can get at one time is the better off you are.
Yep. I did notice some of the shipping costs came down, but yeah, you're right. I do a bulk order. Just pretend you're shopping on Amazon and just order it all. That's the best thing to do. Thanks, Dennis. And he is correct, because I had someone call me and go, hey, we need something engraved. I'm ordering. We need it in 2 weeks. I went, oh, you might be too late. So that is correct. Order early. Like if you're getting your awards that you want for officer installation, which occurs in June, we try to order them in March. April at the latest, but we try to order them in March so that we have them. Club officers in next Lions year are to be submitted on the Lions portal no later than May 15th. So just keep that date in mind. Make sure you have your new officers on the portal by May 15th. And this, once again, is just repeating some of the other stuff I said. Want to provide advance notice of your meetings to all your members via email. Like I said, we have one member that does not do email, but he knows when our meetings are, say the first and third Tuesday of the month, and he has that on his calendar, and he knows that. He knows what time they are, and he knows where to meet us. So give them the date, the time, the place, and you can send a copy of the previous minutes. They're going to need to review them because they will be approved at the meeting. Our treasurer sends our treasurer report out, but you as the secretary, your treasurer may ask you to send it out. One of my past treasurers, he'd like, Patty, you have the whole list, just send it. And it was easy. You just click it, send it. He sent it to me and we sent it out. Another thing you may need to do as far as correspondence, I know a lot of our members had an activity coming up, had a fundraiser coming up, had an event coming up, something that they wanted the club to see, and they would send it to me, and it was not a problem because I had the whole list. I would just copy their flyer, copy whatever, and I would send it out to them. If they sent it out to me before a meeting, that's when I would send it out also when I sent out the agenda. That way they knew we were going to discuss that at the meeting, and they had a copy of the flyer, or they could order the flags for Hero Medallion or be a sponsor for the VFW golf tournament or something. But just include everything in there. I try to keep emails at a minimum because a lot of people don't want their inbox over inundated because a lot of them give me their work email, and you might find that out with your club. So try to cut it down. The joke in my club was, I get 50 emails and 45 of them for Patty, but at least I know what's going on in the club. I have had a few comments made from my club. I don't know if any of you have. Some of them feel like the communication is lacking. They are not getting notices. They don't know what's going on now. They're unsure. Yes, you send the agenda. Yes, they should be reading it. They don't always. You send all the minutes out. Do they read the minutes? Not always. Some of them say, I don't bother looking at them. I'm not there. I'm not looking at it. But at least if you send out a reminder for the upcoming projects, the upcoming fundraisers, like a week in advance, like, oh, great. And they'll say, hey, I can help. And they'll call you or email you and say, I'll be there. I'll help out. So it's important to send that stuff too. Just keep them updated so they know what's going on. Here we are again with help the club president create a meeting agenda, and going back to what Dennis said, that's why that's in red. Trying to make that president's responsibility because they need to do that. They need to run the meeting. Secretary can help. Yes, they can. Because a lot of times they've got their pulse on what's going on in the club and they're like, hey, you forgot this, you forgot that. I used to coordinate with mine. I would call him and say, hey, what do you need? What do you want me to put on here? Because he didn't use the computer. So I would call him. But sure enough, he had 5 or 6 or 7 other things because he got phone calls. He got all the correspondence. He got everything that was going on. They contacted him because he was the president. So I would add it to the agenda for him. But you can assist your president, but Dennis is right. Make sure your presidents are doing their agendas. If they want you to send it out to the club, that's fine. You can send it out because a lot of them won't do that. Forward all correspondence to the appropriate chairperson. Like I said, we didn't have chairpersons. We have just started doing that in our club the last year or two. But make sure if there's something coming in, if it's meant for your president, your treasurer, your chairperson of a big event that you've got coming in, yes, make sure they get forwarded all that stuff. Do that in a timely fashion too, only because a lot of that could be dated, could have a time sensitive on it. So they need to get all that. Because a lot of times people will go on and just look up the post office box and just send it to the post office box, and our treasurer gets that, or they'll just send it to the president's address because our website only has our president on it. So that might be who gets our stuff. So they will let our secretary know and she will send everything on just so everybody's kept on track. Take attendance at the meeting. We do that because we document it in the portal. How many people were at the meeting? How many guests were at the meeting? How many non-Lions attended? Include their name. If there's any guest, we write down the guest. We write who they were. A lot of times it's nice just to send a little thank you to your guests for, hey, glad you came to the meeting, or you're looking to join, because some of them are there because they do want to find a home club. They do want to join. So that's why they're there. Some of our guests, I know a lot of clubs still have a speaker once a month. It's nice for the secretary to send a little thank you note to say, hey, thank you for coming to the club. Thank you for speaking to us. Just send them a little note thanking them. personal note coming from the club makes a huge difference. It makes an impression on people who are there. Your visitors, just get a record of them. A lot of times it's nice to say, hey, thanks for coming to the meeting. We're glad you were there. If you think about joining, here's a number. You can take and contact me and just sort of stay in touch with them if they're thinking of might be a new potential member. Record the minutes goes back to what we said before. Collect the dues, treasurer takes care of that, or the secretary can, and provide receipts. You have to work that out with your own club, so you can find out from your current secretary what they do. Gather information from committee chairs. We didn't do this a whole lot because we did this at our meetings. Someone who's in charge of that particular project, it would just get documented in our minutes. I know there were a few clubs. They actually said, I have to also take my meeting minutes for my meeting. I have to go to the board of director. I have to take those meeting minutes. And they also had separate nights where all the chairs got together for their events, and they were sitting down and also going, the chairperson is not taking their minutes. I have to take them too. It's a great idea. If you've got committees for all your projects, really your committee chairperson should be taking their notes at that meeting, and then they bring them back to the club meeting, and that's where you can document, their findings or how they're proceeding with the project. If they need any help, they need whatever. But I'd make the committee chairperson responsible for those smaller committee meetings where there's only 2 or 3. You don't need to attend all of those. I used to keep an attendance log, and they told me I didn't need to anymore. I did it for me because I'm an OCD that way. It's not have to be in writing anymore. I do, and still I think it's habit, and I'm not at my meetings a lot because I have other meetings. I let them know if there's a quorum. I will stand at the board meeting counting and going, yeah, we have a quorum. If you don't have a quorum at your meeting, you cannot vote. You need a quorum. You need 2/3 of who's there to take and have the vote and for the vote to count. So take a head count real quick and make sure we have enough. New member kits are available. You can order the kits on the Lions portal under Click Shop. They are free. The district governor does get a whole huge allotment of membership kits at the beginning of his term. So they are there. And he can hand them out. I didn't write it down, but I have another email address. It's a direct line. If anybody wants it, I can take and send it to them. And I order a couple of kits. I used to order like 10. You're limited to what you can order now. I only got 5 the last time because they're limiting how many, because now they want you to verify that you have these new members when you get the member kits. So you can order 5 and be safe just to have them for yourself, or see what your previous secretary ordered. And there's the email for the new member and sponsor certificates. You can order them after July 1st of each year. Membership kits come with just the kit. You have to order the certificate separate, and that's the address for the certificates to order. And that will have the new international president's signature on it after July 1st. There's a question in the chat. Okay, we have a question. I believe that I currently have regular access to the portal. I want to be updated to second. Okay. Vicki, usually you won't have access to the portal. If you have regular access, you'll get secretary access July 1st when your term starts.
Vicki, I think you currently have access under club administrator. I talked with Ted about that, and so that you could get acclimated. But because your officers are in right now, they roll over the new officers on July 1st. And at that point, then you'll have access as the club secretary. Should have access as the club secretary.
Thanks, Dennis. Oop. My buttons are stuck. Oh, there we go. Record the type of meeting, the date, and the place. That's important. We do our club meeting and board of director meeting in the same night. A lot of the clubs have one night to do the club meeting and another night they do the board of director meeting. So write the type of the meeting, whether it's a club meeting or a board of director meeting, write the date, write the place, because like I said, that's a permanent record of the meeting and that'll get saved. First and last name of the person presiding over the meeting, the time it was called to order, the time it was adjourned. I know a lot of you have already seen minutes, so this is all just a little repeating. And like I said before, you follow the minutes from your current secretary, the one you're replacing, you'll see it all. A lot of us either been members for a while, or even if you're a new member, it's really a good idea to like just follow the agenda and to take and follow the minutes from the secretary that preceded you. First and last name, like I said before, of all the motion people who make a move, because there might be 3 Bobs in your group. There might be 2 Daves. So you do need first and last name. Some people, they put the first name and the last initial. I preferred the nursing and me again because of documentation. If it's not documented, I put the first and last name. It is a permanent record. This is another thing, actions on the motions. Only the motions are recorded. Debates and discussions are not recorded. I slide on the fence both ways for this one, only because with nursing, if I didn't document it, it didn't happen. If it ended up in a legal battle, it better have been written down. There are people that put the motion, put everything else, do not put the discussion. They might simply just write discussion ensued. I have many a times, I don't literally write word to word to word to word the discussion. I may just state that line so-and-so stated this, line so-and-so stated that, because someone made a motion, someone seconded it. Well, now there's a discussion. So I write their name and who said what. And then sure enough, motion gets amended, motion gets tabled, motion gets totally restated. So then I've got a little record of how did we go from this first and this second to now we've got this, and now how did you rewrite this new motion? At least I have a little bit written there that lets me know. I had someone once who made a phone call and said, I don't know anything about this, and why'd you change your mind, and who did this? But I had it all written down. I had it in my notes, everything, but I had a little bit of the discussion in there, and they're like, oh, I get it. That makes sense. Now I see why you guys went from the first motion and then you amended it and then you wrote the second motion. Legally, I don't know what is correct. I just always felt being a nurse, at least if I had it written down, it was there. And if people had a question, at least they could see it. No, you do not want to write a novel. You do not want to write a book. You want to paraphrase it, but at least it's there. And a lot of times I could go back to my written notes and go, here, this is what was said and this was done. But I also like it when some of that is in there, because my year was very busy this year with training. I missed a lot of meetings, but let me tell you, when I read our minutes, I went, wow, I felt like I was sitting there. Those minutes were so good. Not that they were really long or really wordy, but the way they were recorded, you felt like you were sitting there and you didn't miss a thing. That's how it should be, so that somebody who comes back later can go, wow, I know everything. I know what happened. I know what went on. I know what discussion they had. So just remember, you've got some people not attending meetings and you write one sentence and they're like, okay, that didn't tell me anything. I'm a little more detailed. Our minutes were probably 5 or 6 pages long, and some of them are now, but that's okay. But I've been also to other clubs. I will let you know. They have an agenda. They leave blanks in there. Everything is in there. Who made the motion, who made the second. You're going to need to do whatever works for you, because some of the abbreviated minutes, they work. They're fine. I can read minutes from other clubs and go, oh, this is what's going on. This is where we need to be. This event's coming up. This is what they did for the fundraiser. You will find what works for you. So just do what works for you best. They don't have to be a novel. They also can just be an agenda format and just have the main parts in there so everyone knows. Dennis, I don't know if you have anything else to say about that. I think somebody mentioned before, was it you, Dennis? Some of the clubs, I didn't do it, they keep a book of all the motions so they can just go back there and they can just look at it.
Yeah, I've heard that recommended as just something in the front of whatever your notebook is of regular minutes. If you have a log of just the motions at the front, it can be an easy reference to go back through instead of having to go back through every month's minutes or something like that.
Yep.
Our club doesn't do that, but I thought it was a kind of
Neither
neat,
do I.
suggestion.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Dennis. And just remember, this is a permanent legal record. Like I said, I always fall back on my nursing background. If I didn't document it, it didn't happen. And if something comes up, and we did have a couple incidents, like, well, you know, and I'm like, oh, hold on. Got my notebook here. Here it is. This is what was said. This is what was done. And they got it. It's there. We do keep ours in binders. They are all dated and all for every single year, and they are all there, and it's permanent. And we can look back at it. If keeping electronic files, here where I said before too, make sure to back them up on a separate source. My huge fear, and that's why I printed everything, what if my computer fails and now I don't have anything? So I did have a fear. So I think, I don't know what it's called. I think people use thumb drives or flash drives, but that's a good idea too. Club charter. Our club charter, I know a lot of them, I'm not sure. Ours is hanging on the wall in our Lions room. And that's where it's been for the 9 years that I've been having the meetings in the room where we presently meet. Club constitution and bylaws, I will let you know, I did carry a copy of them in my binder and took them to every single meeting, because I will tell you, I'm not an expert on them. I have to look stuff up. I have to call Dennis. I call Carrie. I call whoever and ask questions, because those are the guys what they're talking about. I call Mike Crowley. He knows some of the stuff too. Or if I got a legal question, I call Mike Crowley. So they know it, but I did carry it with me. Can I tell you I knew what all of it meant when I opened it up? No, but at least I had it with me if a question came up, because someone else in our club, they would look at it and they go, hey, it's written right here. This is what we need to do. Our club history, once again, is in the binders in our closet. We do keep all that in there. Our club history now, the new website is on our website. We have all that. We have all of our past presidents, all of our events, all our officers. It's all in there. All of our minutes, once again, we have them in the binders. We have all of those. Annual reports, including the IRS forms in the 990s. Our treasurer kept all of them. Let me tell you, we were blessed with a very good treasurer. And he kept everything. It's in our file cabinets. He has all of it. He has every little slip of paper, just everything. And it's fantastic. We need to go back for anything. It's there. Our new treasurers, they can just go back in his records and look stuff up, and it's all there. He's done an excellent job. Roster of members with the address, the phone number, the year they joined, should be emailed to the members at the start of the year. And every time you get new members, you should be updating them and sending that to them. I would add a little note so they didn't have to read through the whole roster and look for it and say, hey, new members added, and I would just give them a new roster. I know I did it. My secretary now has a roster, it can be a simple little sheet where it's just all listed. I just this year learned how to do a spreadsheet, so mine weren't that fancy. So our new secretary knows how to do spreadsheets and all that, and they look fantastic, but everything is there. But you do get calls every so often from a member going, hey, I want to email the club. I need this. Hey, I need to talk to so-and-so, but I don't have their phone number. So it does help all the members to have updated emails and addresses.
Patty,
Yes,
when
Dennis?
you, I just wanted to say in relation to that, when you folks get access to the Lion portal, you can export, they have some reports that have some of that information, or you can export a spreadsheet that has all that information, has like all the information. If you're really good with spreadsheets or something like that, you can export all the member information in a spreadsheet, and then you can eliminate the columns you don't want and create a nice little membership list that way.
Dennis is the expert. I'm not a spreadsheet person. I look at buttons and go, okay. Thanks, Dennis. Now, attendance at all club functions. You're the secretary. You should be there at all club functions if you can. This is just so you can give support to the club, give support to everyone else. You know what my other side job got to be with that was, well, Patty, if you don't take pictures and it's not documented, it didn't happen. So I got to become the unofficial club photographer too. So if you're there, take pictures. It's nice. Try to be at all the club functions that you can. That way, when you have to share things or let people know what's going on, if you're there, at least one of your officers is there, they can report at the next meeting if the chairperson isn't there, like, hey, we went to the event. This is what happened. So, and it's good just to get to know your other members and to mingle with them and to let them know, hey, I'm part of the team too. I'm not just an officer. I'm a Lion. I'm part of here. Nearby club projects and events, I tried to attend as many as I could just because I'd like to get out and meet the other clubs. Wayne and I were at chicken barbecues. We've done like other things with other clubs. We've done their carnivals. Wayne's been at the York Fair and done that stuff too. So it's nice to get out and meet other clubs. You get to talk to other members, talk to other secretaries, talk to other officers, see how they do things. And, call the other ones, call the other clubs, say, hey, how do you guys do this? How do you do that? But it is fun. It's a lot of camaraderie and it's a good time. District events, cabinet meetings. You should try to go to the cabinet meetings if you can. There's 4 a year. State convention's coming up next weekend. But then again, you can hear what's going on in the district. You can hear about the events, the fundraisers, the projects, anything that's coming through that needs to be relayed to your club. That way you can get it and you can take and pass it on to your club members. Multiple district events. They have leadership. They have symposiums. They have learning sessions, a lot of them. It's a lot of interesting stuff. You don't technically have to be an officer or be wanting to move up in leadership or anything. It's just everyday basic stuff that teaches you either public speaking or how to engage, how to run a service project ideas, other events that you might want to do. They do help. You get to meet a lot of Lions from a lot of different clubs, a lot of different other districts. And it's a lot of fun. You learn a lot from them too. It's like, you learn, hey, I had this event, it didn't go so well. Like, well, we did this or we did that. So, you can take a lot of ideas back to your club. The regional LCI Leadership Institutes, the RLLI, if everybody knows, Carrie always talks about that, was one of those events where I thought, I really don't want to go. And Carrie's like, I really think you need to. Well, let me tell you, everybody who went to that event, it was a 3-weekend training and they were long days, but they did not feel like long days at all. We got to meet a lot of people, had a lot of classes, learned a lot of things. Everybody got to network, everybody got to talk, and it was a really great time. And you do leave that event. That's the one event you do leave and go, wow, now I know what it's like to be a Lion. Now I know what it's like to move up in leadership or to take that next step, or that might be something I want to do. But it's also something you might take some of that stuff back to your club. So it does help out in all areas. Just, you don't have to move up to be, big leader. You guys are still leaders, you're officers. So it is a big help. USA Canada leadership forums. I go to those and we didn't go to a couple years ago. Wow. Meet a whole bunch of people from a lot of places again, and over, I think 100 some seminars. You get to pick which ones you want to go to, and you get to meet other people. And once again, just share ideas and network. International conventions. I'm not able to travel internationally. I will not even be able to go to Hong Kong when our district governor-elects go because of health issues. So, but they are great. A lot of people go to them. I mean, it's international, literally. It's the big parade. It's all the events. It's all the seminars. You see the international president. There's awards. It's a really great experience for a lot of people that are able to travel and able to go to, and you learn a whole lot more. And that's where everyone who comes back says, you know what I realized? We're all Lions. We all have the same purpose. We all make a difference and we're all here to serve. And they realize the world's a lot smaller than they thought. It isn't really that big because we all do the same thing and we all want to serve and we all want to make things better. They came back with a whole different feeling of that too. That it's just great what Lions do worldwide. Attendance at the webinars in Lions University, they're all online. That's another great thing. You can learn a lot about leadership, about your club, about different roles, about events, about fundraisers. So that's just another option. You can sit at home and do those. Managed correspondence, again, just literally goes back to what I said before. We'll go over a little bit of that. I have a few comments to make here on this. It says you should read and reply to correspondence promptly, even if only to acknowledge receiving the email or the letter and pass it on to the relevant person in your organization. This is important for several reasons. I have 2 examples that actually just happened in our club. We had a member who sent an email out. I didn't know if it was spam or not because it was somebody from a corporation saying, hey, we're going to award you $1,500 in a grant. Just need to give me all this information to verify that so-and-so did this many hours. And I went, really? I don't even know this person. This person didn't volunteer with our Lions Club because we have a whole list of our volunteers on our website. So I asked around, asked the president. She went, I don't know. I think it's a scam. So no one knew, no one contacted us. A month later, we both got the same email again. We needed to fill this out. We needed to contact them. Only by accident, she found out that it was our scout liaison from our club who forgot to tell us that we were going to receive this email. We needed to fill it out. We needed to correspond back. We needed to verify this gentleman's hours with the scouts because we are their charter. So we take care of them. We pay for some of their expenses. And he forgot to tell us. And now I came to another meeting. He said, Patty, did you guys sign the paperwork that I need signed so we can get the $1,500 grant for the Boy Scouts? And I went, I didn't know anything about it. And I thought the president was taking care of it. By now, the date had passed to get it. And it was $1,500 of grant money. Luckily, he was able to pull a few strings because he's the Boy Scout liaison and very involved in the Scouts. They did get their $1,500, but can you imagine if that date had passed and it wasn't done only because he did not communicate with us about any of it, they would have lost out on $1,500. That would have been a big loss. There was stories of some other clubs, the same thing had happened. The deadline had passed and they didn't read the email, they didn't acknowledge it, and they lost out on some money for their club or for a project that they needed. Another email had come through and I tried to reserve our local community center over here. And I get this email from the borough manager saying, you have been denied. You cannot reserve the community center anymore. And I went, I wonder what this is about. I contacted him and no one would call me back. No one called me back. This went on for a month. Brought it up at a club meeting and I said, does anybody know why we can't reserve the community center anymore? Our zone social's in 4 weeks. I think we might have a problem. Our president got an email in December and forgot to answer and respond to them. They said we owed a security deposit to them because from one event that we had, there was some straw that was left on the floor from an event we had. But if we had not found out about that, we would not have been able to have had our zone social and any of our other functions. So it is very important you get any kind of correspondence in. If you can't make the phone call, you can't handle it right away, please just answer it. Acknowledge the fact that you've got it. Say that you will pass it on to who needs to know. You will take care of it and make a note of it somewhere so it's where you can see it, just so you don't miss that grant money or you maybe don't get to reserve your community center that you get to use for your events and now an event has to be canceled. It's very important just to let them know, hey, I got it. I will get back to you. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity. And file carefully, whether you do this on your computer and you put it in little folders or put it wherever. Mine, of course, was all printed out. Mine was put in those little manila folder things that you put in files and all of them are labeled. And I still have all of them. I have boxes and boxes of stuff in the basement that I still have all those files and I have kept it. Some secretaries, I guess you can do it on your computer. You can do it in a little in and out box if that's what works for you. All this stuff came in, this went out, so you know what you've done and what you've responded to and how you take care of stuff. But somehow keep all your files organized. I know our present secretary has a binder after binder after binder and has tabs all down and has everything labeled. And believe you me, if we're sitting in a meeting, she can sit there and flip that open and go, yep, here it is right here. And she's kept it in order and she knows. So it does help run a meeting very well. And it does help with questions that come up. Try to answer all your letters and emails quickly. Also, I learned a long time ago, and I'd always done it anyway, but it has made a huge difference. A simple thank you, a handwritten thank you. You can use emails. It's not what I do. I like a handwritten thank you better. And just if you've had a guest, if you've had a speaker come, whatever, once again, just a simple thank you. If someone's made a donation to your club, send them a thank you. If you've got a big event coming up and you've had sponsors who have donated money to you, send them a handwritten thank you. We do that for our fireworks sponsors. We do that for our sponsors for our other events. I'm trying to think the other one. All of our volunteers, because we have over 250 volunteers that volunteer at our carnival every year. Every single chairman of every single booth, either by email or a handwritten thank you, we send a personal thank you to that volunteer. That means more than anything for them to just get a thank you from us for their service and for them helping us make our event a success. I've had people come up to me personally and say, wow, thank you for the thank you, because it was really nice to have a handwritten note that we were appreciated. You never know, you might get a member, you might get somebody that might still donate to you every year. It might set up a partnership. So it's very important. I go by thank you notes. I think there are 6 or 8 of them in a pack for $1. I just ordered them in bulk for my district governor year for next year. You can get them off of Amazon too and buy them in bulk. But thank you note is just a very nice gesture. And this goes back to, I already explained all of this, where failure to answer stuff can cost money and it can also cost members. We had someone I know sent us an email to the club and I answered them right away and they showed up at our meeting and they joined our club. They've had other people go, well, you never answered my email and you think I want to join a club like that? That's why it's nice that if emails taken come in, just answer them. You never know. You may have lost a member. You may have lost a donation. And that's it. If anybody has any questions.
Patty, I
Hi.
just wanted to give a heads up. I sent out 2 documents. I sent out the ebook to everybody who's on, and I also sent the club constitution and bylaws in case you didn't have
Okay.
that. This is the standard one that is generated by Lions International. Your club may have their own. You'll probably have to check that if you don't know for sure. But most clubs run under the standard club constitution and bylaws, and then they maybe have some procedures or policies specific to their own club. So both of those documents should be in your email. And the club constitution and bylaws will be updated after the international convention. So that usually comes out sometime in July. And I try to send those out to all the club presidents and secretaries.
Okay. Thank you, Dennis.
Crystal, were you going to ask
Anybody
something? I'm sorry.
I was just saying that I'm here. I'm sorry I'm late. But now that I know that it's recorded, I can go back and watch the replay. I had soccer, so that's why.
Anybody else? And please
you,
at any
Patty.
time, you're welcome. Please at any time, if you have any questions, feel free to call me, email me, call me. I think once a secretary, you're always a secretary. You don't kind of like forget it. Dennis can help with a lot of stuff too. You always have people that can help anybody with anything that you need. So feel like you can reach out to us. It's not a problem. We're never too busy to take a phone call. That it?
Looks good.
Yep. Okay. All righty. I want to thank everybody. And remember again, if you got any questions, give me a call. And everybody have a good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Dennis, if you could stay on a few seconds, I just have a couple of questions because some stuff's
Okay. I want to end the recording here just a second.